So all of a sudden I just. Can you see how many people are watching up there?
Mm-hmm.
You?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Goodview Woodworks channel. My name is Nathan, and this is Shop Talk Tuesday Live. I'm excited for you guys to be here this evening, as always. If you notice, I got my nephews in here for this evening's live stream. And before we get to them, I just want to see where you guys are chiming in from. DK says, "Hi, Nate." What's up, DK? If you guys could go ahead and smash that like button too, it'll put the video higher up in the queue, and that way we can get some more people on our live stream. Okay, Renee Porter says, "Hello, Seth and Silas." Hey, Mom, how are you? And Chad Hinwood says, "Hey, y'all. What's up, Chad?" Chad, just so you know, I was able to get those pigments sent out, so cross your fingers. Hopefully it gets to you this time. Lost Sailor says, "Hey, bro." Cody says, "Hello, Nate. Here from Washington." So real quick, if you saw the title, we're going to be doing a collaboration. Not with these guys yet, but maybe eventually. We're actually doing a collaboration with Build Dad Build, and I'll get to that later on in this evening. So the first part, we're just going to be talking about what's going on in the Goodview Woodworks channel. And the second part of the video, obviously, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So you guys will be able to, just like normal, ask as many questions as you would like. If you guys are wanting to support the channel, as always, you can go over to patreon.com and sign up there, or you can always hit me up with a super chat. And if you have a question that you want to ask, feel free to do a super chat, and I will try to get to it as soon as possible. If not, just type in what you need, okay? Oh, Steve Kirkland, thanks, man. I appreciate it with the super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So Jeremy P says, "Evening." Nick Sheldon says, "Hey, broski." What's up, Nick? How you doing? Chad Hinwood said, "Did they say why they return the pigments to me?" Yes. I think so the original address that you had was different than the second one. I think it had something to do with that. So I don't know. I could have spelled something wrong too, but they said it was something wrong with the address. So anyway, guys, so check this out. This is Seth, and this is Silas right here. They have a channel called
All Bright Bros. Yes.
What was that? I couldn't hear it.
All Bright Bros.
All Bright Bros. Can you spell that?
ALL space BRIGHT
IGHT, right?
Space BROS.
Okay, All Bright Bros. Okay. So yeah, so these guys, if you guys have kids or grandkids, they have a pretty cool channel. Tell me what the channel's about. Tell everybody what the channel's about.
It's basically based on flips. Sometimes we just post random videos, and we usually try and post once or twice a week. So.
Okay. So what do you guys post anything else besides flips?
We post some like pranking around, fun gigs with people. So.
Okay. Yeah, it is pretty funny. So if you guys have kids or grandkids or something like that, and you want a pretty wholesome channel, it's funny. These guys are great. I love when they interact with each other because it makes me laugh really hard. But these guys are awesome. And so if you guys want to check that out, that would be great. Lost Sailor says, "Hey, do those kids know how cool their uncle is?" Question mark.
Yes.
They do? Oh, okay, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Richard Collins says, "Hello, Nathan." Chad says, "Or it may have been incomplete." Yeah, the address may have been incomplete. Ricky says, "Hi from Navarre, Ohio." Is that how you say it? And Richard Collins says, "Good-looking dudes with you there." Yep, there are some good-looking dudes. I think the same thing. Yeah, they had some pretty cool. So this guy right here can do a double front flip in the air, like double front tuck, and also a double back flip. That's pretty ridiculous, actually. Got like a video jumping off the trampoline, and then 2 flips in the air and lands on his feet too, of all things. And then you got Silas over here. He does a couple of flips too, but there was one where he kind of flipped and landed on his chest and tooted. So, oh man. Jennifer says, "Hi, Nathan, nephews, and good viewers. Happy Tuesday from South New Hampshire." So what's up, Jennifer? Russ says, "What's going on, buddy? When is the next DIY project happening?" Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, we're trying to get everything out as soon as possible. So I'll get into that. You guys have anything before you get off of here and just go hang back and hang out with the family?
Pretty
No,
much
not
it.
really.
There's just the channel and everything.
Yeah, channel. What are they supposed to do?
Subscribe.
What else?
Like,
What else?
comment,
Share.
and share.
And there you go. That's right. I didn't hear it. Can you say it one more time?
Share.
All 4.
Subscribe, like, comment, and share.
That's right. All right. Peace out, Cub Scout. Yeah, those guys are awesome. My nephews. DK says, hi guys from Boston, Massachusetts. Chad says, would you make a river style skateboard? Dude, Chad, I've actually talked about this. Now, this is just in planning, I guess, not even full planning, but we were talking about doing an electric skateboard, a river style electric skateboard, self-power with a remote. I thought that would be pretty cool. Jennifer says, are you loving your new cousins? Well, they're gone, but yeah, they are totally loving their new cousins for sure. They're actually here for a week all the way from Salt Lake City, Utah. So we have 11 people in our house. Oh my goodness. Troy says, what's up, Nate, from Lafayette. So yeah, anyway, guys, so go back to the collaboration. I wanted to share this with you guys. So we are doing a collaboration with Build Dad Build. If you guys are familiar with him, he does some pretty cool stuff. If not, go check him out over on YouTube. But if you guys didn't know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we're both doing projects for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I sent him out some pink pigments and some epoxy, and we're doing something together. He's going to build his own project. I'm going to build my own, and we're just going to, film our experience working with Incredible Solutions and Goodview Woodworks bikini pigment. So that is what's coming up soon. It's going to be really cool. I'm almost done with that project. Once again, if you guys are following along, I know I haven't posted any projects in the past 2 weeks. Obviously, life gets crazy sometimes, but I'm trying my best to get that dining room table done. We're so close. We're about 4 hours away from finishing that thing. The top is almost done. It just needs a little bit of buffing, which is pretty cool because I'll show you guys another video on how to sand and buff the top. I'm working on that right now. And then once that's finished, show you a video of it being delivered, and then we'll start working on our other projects. So we have a couple of charcuterie boards and this collaboration with Build Dad Build coming up. So there's a lot coming up on the channel. If you guys are just hanging there with me just for a little bit, we'll get you some pretty cool content. So now that we're 8 minutes in, you guys can, we're going to start the Q&A. You guys can ask as many questions as you would like from this point on, especially if it pertains to epoxy and woodworking. Chad, hit me up with the super chat. Really appreciate that, man. Means a lot. Ashley said hi from Canada. How you doing, Ashley? I haven't recognized you here before on the live stream. I appreciate you coming out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. No worries. So I came across an issue. Okay, I want to tell you guys about Build Dad Build sent me a message asking if I'd ever come across, when using pink, that it kind of washed out and turned orange instead of pink. And this is like bright pink. And I had never had that problem, but I did experience it a little bit on this collaboration that we're doing. If you guys are using pink pigment or any kind of neon colored pigment, the pigment load has to go way up to keep it that color. I'm not sure exactly why that happens, but most of the time, especially if you're painting cars or painting anything, the fluorescents always are a little thin. So keep that in mind with the fluorescent colors, that you need a higher pigment load than you would with other pigments. So hopefully that helps you guys. Sean Filler says, what's up? John M81's hi from Scotland. Thanks for all the inspiration on the videos. Just about a flood coated desk made from OSB tomorrow. Any tips other than tape for the drips and seal best I can to prevent bubbles? No, not really, except for on your seal coats. Remember, thin is a win, okay, when it comes to your seal coats. that's all they're there for, is to fill in the small voids and pockets. So make sure you use a shower squeegee and really squeegee it on there thin. And you want to do 2 to 3 seal coats. I recommend 3. Sometimes you can get away with just 2. Hopefully that helps. Nima says, hi from Sudan. Hey, how's it going? How are you? It says, the Duffmeister says, hi, Nate from the UK. What's up? How you doing? How are you guys? John says, thanks, no problem. Yeah, hopefully that helps you out. That's actually pretty cool. Hey, John, are you on Facebook? That'd be really cool to post on the Facebook community page. If you guys want to join that, you can go on Facebook. But yeah, it would be really cool to post. So if you guys don't know what OSB is, OSB stands for Oriented Strand Board. And this looks like a bunch of splinters all mixed around and glued together. So yeah, that'd be actually pretty cool to see one made out of that. Mason says, yo, Nate, hello from Sarasota, Florida. Pigment load, question mark? What does that mean? Hey, Mason, great question. I just mean the amount of pigment. So sometimes you can get away with using, let's say, like a teaspoon or like a tablespoon for a whole gallon, and you won't be able to see through it or anything like that. So that would mean, so what I mean is you would need, let's just say it was 1 teaspoon per gallon. You would actually, for fluorescent, need 2 to 3 times that amount to get the same effect. Ashley says, I just discovered your channel. Your videos are so easy to follow, especially for beginners, and they gave me the confidence to get into epoxy. Any tips for prepping / setting epoxy in colder climates? Great question, Ashley. Yes. So colder climates only affect the cure time. Okay. And so what I mean by that is it will eventually cure on its own, especially if your ratios are correct. However, this could be a really long time. So I would recommend, even if it's in a colder climate, get some heaters to blow directly onto the epoxy if it's super cold. If you're like, I would recommend 65 degrees. If you can somehow get that room to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, you should be good to go. We shouldn't have any issues. Jennifer says, Shop Talk Worldwide. That's right. Los Angeles says, wow, people chiming in from all over the world. Awesome stuff. I know, it really is awesome. I thank you guys so much. The Duffmeister said, I saw OSB drawer fronts with clear epoxy a few months ago. They look awesome. Good luck, John M81. Yeah, it is. I would like to see that. That's be pretty cool. Chad says, when I come to the U.S., it would be cool to meet you and do a project with you. That would be pretty sweet. Are you coming to the U.S. anytime soon? Boba says, I don't have a dust-free shop to do a spray coat. So Boba, I don't have a dust-free shop either, and that's okay. That doesn't matter a whole lot. It just means you have a little bit more prep work after the epoxy is cured. So what I would recommend is try to get your shop, if it's not dust free, to be breeze or wind free, like no air movement free. Try to do that as best you can. Lock it up, turn all the fans off, and that'll keep a lot of dust from settling on the top. Another thing you can do, it depends on how big the project is, but you can put a tote or a piece of plastic, or even make a cardboard box big enough to fit over it so no dust can get on it. And thirdly, if it does get on it, no worries. I'm coming up with a video here in the next week or two to show you exactly how to cut and buff so that it'll be just as shiny as when you first poured it, if you do happen to make a mistake, without having to go through the whole entire flood coat thing again. Samantha Albright says, hey, Uncle Nathan. Hey, Samantha. What you doing in there? You should be in the living room. What are you doing in there? John M81 says, not on Facebook, sorry. Happy to send a picture once it's done and let you know how it goes if I can figure out how. Stained it dark first. Looks cool as each section soaked up different amounts of stain. Oh, that sounds really cool. Yeah, you can always, if you have Instagram, you can send it to me on Instagram at Goodview Woodworks, like a DM or something like that. That'd be cool too. Ashley says, thank you. We already have snow, so it looks like I'm getting some heaters. Yeah, and obviously your whole entire shop doesn't have to be warm, but just if you can get that area where your project is warm, it'll cure fine. Renee Porter says, reading my mind, Jennifer. So what did Jennifer say? I don't know what she said there, but Jennifer says, hi, Mama Porter. Richard Collins says, are you still working on getting an epoxy line of your own? Yes. So great question. I did speak with them a couple of weeks ago. What we're going to be doing just to try it out first is kind of see how people are if they actually want to purchase epoxy and stuff. I'm working with Incredible Solutions to come out with a Goodview Woodworks edition, the deep pour epoxy. And so what that means is it'll just have my logo on it, like a sticker, and then I'll have it listed on my website and things like that. So nothing really different with the just like the makeup of the epoxy, but more just we're working together to promote their stuff. We're kind of mixing brands. We're doing like a co-brand essentially. And so if you guys were to buy that with my logo on it, it would just help support me. So that's really the only difference in it. So yeah, great question. That's kind of like just a trial run just to see how things work, because it's a little bit bigger. It's kind of a bigger thing than I thought it was originally. So that's kind of what we're working on. Jennifer said, Michael W says, do you ever use drum sander? Yes, actually, when I teach classes up at Woodcraft in Richmond, they have a small drum sander that we use to get everything, to 150 grit before we sand and apply the Rubio monocoat. Great question. Chad says, not till COVID is gone and I get $2,000 or so for a ticket. Oh yeah, I know. And it's crazy, right? Chad says co-op. Yes, co-op would be the better term for the epoxy. Jeremy says, so a free gallon for Patreon members. You know what? Yeah, I can do that, Jeremy. How about this? How about I couldn't give a free gallon to all Patreon members. However, I'd say we could probably do a giveaway with only the core Patreon members. So you have a much better chance of getting something. And how about this? We'll do one once a month. And every time somebody wins, they get knocked out. So then everybody could eventually get one month by month. How about that? Does that sound good? Yeah, Jeremy says, good idea. Jennifer says, yay. Nails on Nickel. Is there a particular brand of resin that you've used and do not like / would recommend? I've just had that issue myself with Envirotex Light. It lifted vinyl off the wood. Wow. Okay, so most of the products that I've used are pretty good. Yes, there is one that I would not recommend using, and that would be Famo Wood Glaze Coat. And the reason is it still imprints months after, so it's not as durable as other epoxies. It's a little bit cheaper. I mean, it's a good epoxy if you want to just learn, so you're not wasting a lot of money. But even still, I would learn with something that is good so that you know how it's going to react and all those things. You don't really want to try to learn with something that doesn't perform well, because are you really learning at that point? You're just learning that that's not a good product. That's pretty much it. So I would stay away from that. That's what they sell at Lowe's and Home Depot. They also sell it at Woodcraft too, but just not a big fan of it. I've had months after pour it still leave indents from sitting cups or glasses on it. But anyway, that's where I stay. That's where I would kind of stay away from them. But most other things like Total Boat, what's the other one that pours like 6 inches thick liquid glass from fiberglass coatings. Those the FGCI, those guys are really good. Epoxy, all those guys are pretty good. So most of the ones I use on my channel, I would recommend, just not that Famo Wood Glaze Coat. Bobo says, sorry you missed my first comment that went with the dust-free shop one. Just finishing my shell and clear resin table. Trying to wipe on poly, but can't really get it smooth without streaks. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. So I did have that issue at first. What you have to do is with the streaks is you have to wipe it on, like really buff it on, let it cure, and then you have to go back over it with some like steel wool or something really fine, like a non-abrasive Scotch-Brite. Work it back down and do two coats of it. So try that first. Hopefully that helps. Jennifer says, Bobo, maybe try running a heat gun over it so it'll smooth out. Jennifer, that's also a great idea. Nails on a Nickel says, wonderful, thank you. I recently started watching you. My projects are nowhere near as big as yours, but I have learned from you, even though I'm an old hag at 52. That's not 52 is not old. What? No, I'm glad you're able to. Use some of the things that I post up here. That's awesome. Good luck on your future projects. Michael says, is there any websites you would recommend to get nice slabs that aren't crazy expensive? Well, man, I tell you, slab, especially wood, is going really high right now just because of the COVID. And there are a lot of people, like a lot of mills and things had to shut down for a little bit. And so because they're out of work for a few months, obviously they're trying to catch back up and the prices of lumber are going up. So as far as websites, yes, I would recommend one. If you go on Instagram to Worldwide Burl, they have an auction every 24 hours for some burl slabs, and you can actually DM them. They have some other slabs, and they are actually very reasonable on pricing. So I've got a bunch of stuff from them, and you'd actually be surprised at how reasonable they are. I'm not sure if you're familiar with price of slabs, but man, I'm getting wood burls the same price as like smaller oak slabs, which are a little bit less expensive here. So keep that in mind. That's how I'd recommend. Troy says, do you use deep pour or casting epoxy as a flood coat for a table? Harder. So great question. So here's a few things that I would say. I would say if you want to do a flood coat for a finish, definitely the tabletop epoxy I would definitely use. However, if you have something that's really punky and you want to stabilize it, I would use the casting epoxy or the deep pour for your seal coats. It penetrates much further into the wood, stabilizing the wood. So that's what I'd change. I would say I'd use for seal coats, I would use the casting epoxy if you have time and there's no time limit, and use the tabletop for the flood coat. Here's the issue. Tabletop is thicker, so when it rolls the edge, it actually clings on and gives you a perfect edge. Whereas the tabletop sets up too slowly and it can kind of flatten out and it won't give you that perfectly level surface. Okay, hopefully that helps. Casting epoxy is harder though than tabletop epoxy. So that was part of your other question. John M81 says, at the Duffmeister, I think I saw the same video, stole their idea. That's awesome. Jeremy says, ever heard of Rocca Incorporated Epoxy? No, not at all. Actually, I've never heard of that one. The Duffmeister says, at John M81, I think it was Pinterest where I saw them, but we can take our inspiration from anywhere. Might go hunting for videos after this. You know what? I think I might check them out too. Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for all the questions, man. This has been a really, really awesome live stream. Thank you for asking questions. I always really appreciate it. So if you guys have any other questions, I would say go ahead and ask them now, and I'll try to get to them soon. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up this live stream. I want to get back to my family. And so I'm going to read the last couple comments. Richard says, at 52, he is still a kid. Try being 76. Now that is getting old. Well, yeah, 76. That is up there, huh? He is a she. That's right. Nails on Nickel. He is a she. Chad says, no, thank you for the great info. Chad says, Jeremy says, enjoy the family time. The Duffmeister says 14 likes, 25 watch, and don't forget everyone. That's right, guys. Thanks for hitting that like button. I really, really appreciate it. Lost Sailor says, nails on a nickel. You're not old. I'm 51. And what is it? And dabby and epoxy stuff. Okay, I got you. Guys, thanks again. I will catch you on the next one. I'm going to go hang out with the family. Hopefully, if you guys have some kids, recommend all Bright Bros. That way they can get some subscribers and some watch time and things like that. But once again, guys, thanks for thanks for supporting this channel just by watching and sharing videos. Thank you for those guys on Patreon for supporting financially so that I can continue to make content. You guys rock. And once again, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. And you have a good evening. All right? Bye-bye.